I just allowed you to record.
All right, I think we're up, man. So, what's going on, cuz? This is my cousin here. It's Travis Property Clinic. This is my cousin Steven Savoy, who's now with EXP Realty. He realized that EXP was the place to be, and he came on over. So we're on two different teams, but he's a very successful retail agent, and I'm trying to be that. But I'm pretty successful on the off market side, on the wholesaling and flipping side. Not super successful, but more successful than a lot of folks. So today is going to be on just our successes and failures on two different sides of the real estate market, and kind of how that's been for us. He's coming from the space of all retail sales, and I'm coming from the space of off market, 90% off market sales. So both EXP real estate agents now, but I started as just wholesaler and a rehabber. So, Mr. Steven, how you doing today?
I'm great, man. You mentioned about me being successful. I guess that depends on how you measure it.
Okay.
So there may be some of my colleagues that would not necessarily agree with that, but again, that's in comparison to their level of success. So I guess just with anything, there's levels to this as well.
Exactly.
In business.
So what has been some of your I guess we'll start with failures. What has been some of your failures?
Been too many. Too many, I believe that any successful person in any endeavor, whether it be sports, business, you fail your way into success because you don't just continue to achieve one goal after another. You continue to fail and learn, and through those failures, I think that's where a person's strength comes from. How do you persevere? Because I mean, it's tough. You look at all the industries where people want to be an entrepreneur, whether it's the music industry, whether it's real estate, whether it's investments, regardless, being a CEO, whatever it is, it's really tough.
It is, man. Real estate is pretty rough. It's a pretty rough industry to be in to begin with, and it takes a certain type of person to be successful in this industry. A lot of folks get in here, 80%, 80-20 rule. So 20% of the folks make 80% of the money, just because it's a very difficult job, a very difficult job to do. A lot of folks have their license, but they don't make any money. So in order to be successful, you really have to hustle. It's a full-time job. And, I take my hat off, man, because I just started the retail side. Is tough. It's all personality based. Off-market stuff, you don't have to be very good. You just got to offer them the right amount of money, and they'll take it. You sign them, and you buy the house. Like retail, they have to like you. That is the problem. So you have to actually provide customer service and be all nice to people, and I'm learning to be that. And that's not where I started from. Come from the military. I was old cop for a couple of years, so being nice is not necessarily was where I was coming from. So I'm kind of getting used to being, more of the personality, people services, and personal relations, and building relationships. It's not something that I was ever really used to doing, so yeah.
So basically, that's a skill, because you're swimming in untraveled waters. So you're forced to dig deep within yourself, I guess, to have empathy and compassion for others and become likable and learn to love others too. So yeah, you're absolutely right. It's difficult. Yeah. Well, for me, that's the only way that I can stay afloat, I think, because of relationships. That's just one of the things that, at least I believe, through the history of my life, has been really came natural, is cultivating relationships and being likable and loving others.
That's exactly the opposite of where I come from. Exactly the opposite. so I mean, this is a relationship business, and it took me a couple of years to learn that it is all about relationships. So when I call these folks, I getting away from how much of money I'm going to make, dealing with this person versus, how your kids, how you feeling, and they tend to really react to that more. Hi, how you doing? Calling about your house at this time. Are when are you available for me to come look at it? More of how are you feeling? How you doing? How you staying out of this Corona thing? People really react to that, and they remember your name when you call them versus being all business. And I'm come from all business. No emotions, no feelings.
That's called transactional. So here on this side, and actually, I just believe in life in general. It's relational, and I think it's the relationships that really provide the story of your life. So I look at my endeavors philosophically, and each person that I meet, there's an opportunity for me to learn something, whether it's a different culture or a different perspective. Everybody's coming from a different background, and even if it's to learn how similar we are or how different we are, there's always an opportunity for value to be exchanged between people. And that's why I love what I do so much, because it's an opportunity for me to grow personally, spiritually, professionally. Of course, and earn an income. That's how I keep the lights on here. So for all those reasons stated is why I love what I do. I also love looking at beautiful homes. You
Yeah,
know,
same here, man.
and but I also have to love the challenge of looking at homes that are not so beautiful, and massage expectations and disappointments, and sell continue with the positive energy, and celebrate people when they need to be celebrated. So you almost have to be, when you say good relationships, if you have compassion and empathy for others, it becomes so much easier to be almost like a therapist or a real estate therapist.
Yeah, I'm learning that, man. I'm
Yeah.
learning that real quick. You got to be like that. With your good clients, you pretty much are their counselor to a point. You have to massage them through and let them know what repairs are necessary. What can we worry about later? Is it worth back out of the house just for a piece of rotten wood, or is it what's a safety, what's not a safety? You got to pretty much be a counselor all through the whole entire process and make them understand what's important, what's not important, and why. And like I said, that's the retail side. Off market, none of that. You don't have to do any of that stuff. It's all business, basically.
Well, just think if you did though, and you met people, because it's like if you go in to see an attorney and you're fighting for your freedom, and you would like an attorney to have compassion and empathy for you, or the same thing if you go into a doctor and he says you have a lump in your throat, and you want that doctor to deliver that information to you in a compassionate way. So whether it's retail, whether it's off-market branding, I mean, you're still dealing with people. So if you can communicate in such a way that they like you, it's just good to be liked. The result is going to take care of itself. But you just never know. They can invite you over for dinner. Your whole world opens up. And you're having lunches. You gain a friend, or they refer you to others. Or they have another project. They remember you. So it's just really good to have. It's a good way to live, to have good relationships. So
And that's been my failures, man. That's been my failures in real estate. They're all been relationship based, personality based. From I've had two previous mentors, and with both mentors, we don't really speak anymore because of personality differences, because of the way maybe I handle it versus their personality in a certain way, which I didn't really agree with, but I didn't handle it the right way to maybe interpret it better and still maintain that relationship. So all my failures in real estate, it's a real estate, it's a situational, not situation, it's a personality based business and relationship based business, and that's mostly all my failures, is relationship building. I'm not very good at it. I come from the military, then I was a policeman for 9, 10 years. So relationship building wasn't what we did, at all. So Now I'm having to switch, last 4 years, having to switch over and becoming this wholly different person. And it's tough. It's tough coming straight from the streets to real estate. So it's completely different flip. And those have been my failures. Just they're basically all relationship based, but I've had a lot of successes on the real estate bit, but personality based relationship building has not been my forte. And that's something I continue to work on. I'm starting to read a couple books about it because that's basically the entire business. You
Do
know.
you have any friends that you still communicate today from your military days?
Yeah, oh yeah. My phone is full of cops and sergeants. You know, I have most like 90% of my friends are all cops for the most part.
Well, then you've had good relationships then.
I do, but they were built on a personal basis. I wasn't trying to, buy their house or sell their house for them. It was all kind of, it was nothing to do with business. So in business, coming to someone and you have business with them and you don't know them, to build that relationship from that perspective is where I struggle. Stranger, I don't know them, which is all real estate stuff. They're strangers, you don't know them. You meet them and you got to initially start that relationship. And that's where I struggle. You got to find something that, you know, um, that you have in common. Then you try to get on that and you maybe mirror them with some of those techniques that they show and try to build some kind of relationship to where they hire you and let you work for them versus someone else. And that's where I struggle just because I'm not that good at that. Either you like me or you don't. So I know there's more techniques to it. I was an interrogator in the military, so I shouldn't struggle too much with the
Oh,
personality.
wow.
But but
I didn't know
that's
that.
completely different too. You're a detainee and you're in handcuffs. Different than, hey, this guy wanted to buy a house. Different kind of relationship building. you know, Completely different. So I come from a different world, man. It's been a struggle to do the relationship thing, but I'm gonna continue to try. You know.
And that's a great example. So you may fail many times before something clicks, and then you become really, really good at it.
I gotta
Build.
start reading books, man. Start reading books on personality building and relationships, and I already started. So
We'll see. Again, see, now you're developing another skill. So you're learning about how to do it. You're sharpening your own skills. I'm sure you're probably becoming it's going to improve you personally, because say you're hosting a party at home or a client appreciation party, and then now you have the skill set, and then now people like you, and then now you have to get larger rooms to hold more people because you just have a following. That's
I'm
good.
trying to get there, man.
You'll get
Trying
there.
to get there.
If you're willing to dig deep and read books and do the research, then you're definitely going to be successful in that area. You just got to keep at it, just like anything else in life, be it real estate or anything else. If a sale falls through, which they always do,
Always.
people back out. People will also use you to entertain themselves with the idea of being a homeowner, knowing that they're not in a position to be a homeowner. And you got to deal with.
I've done that.
Yeah, we all
That's
have.
something I'm learning too. When I got my license, there was this big thing on, do you show houses to people that are pre-qualified or not? And my instructor said, I show houses to everybody, because what you're doing, if you don't, that could be a potential client that you lose in the future when they do get qualified, when their score does come up. So I do kind of waste some time going across town to show a house or two to some folks I know aren't qualified, because they're going to be hopefully in the future, and that's a future closing I could have. So some folks say, now, if they're not pre-qualified, I ain't even leaving my house. So okay, I think you're losing money in my opinion on that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, man, I've showed houses to numerous people that have not qualified, numerous houses, and they still haven't bought a house. So I've wasted a lot of time with that too, but I still do it because maybe one day they'll call me, hey man, I got a new job now, I'm qualified, what's going on? Boom, you get a closing.
That's interesting. This is the way I look at that. I mean, and this goes back to, again, relationships. If someone calls me, I interview them over the phone, try to uh, be as kind and professional as I can. And then if it sounds like that's a relationship worth having, then I'll go meet them in person. So shake a hand, not today, but
No.
yeah, but elbow bump or whatnot, and go meet them, uh, see if there's uh, opportunity for a relationship, because that's the whole glue right there. And so if there's an opportunity for a relationship, then I'll approach those questions about pre-qualification. I have a background in mortgages,
Mm-hmm.
so I know the right questions to ask on how to pre-qualify someone just in the realm of a conversation while showing a home. Like, when do you think it's going to be the right time? Is now the time? If so, are you prepared? Let's prepare when the time comes. We see something that we love, we're not prepared, somebody else can come and take it from you. If it's destined for you, let's go ahead and there's no luck involved. The definition of luck is when opportunity meets preparation. So we got to be prepared for when opportunity comes, and then stream home. So having those conversations and meeting people, developing a relationship, and if they're not ready, because of that relationship, the foundation has been set, and you follow up with them periodically, then if and when they are ready, then they'll call you. And if not, then they probably don't really value that relationship. And if they don't call you, then you're better off for that too. And then plus another thing too, now speaking on the business side, if you go show a home and say a community that you haven't been there before, it's not a waste of time, because you learn the market for a new area. And there's going to be an opportunity to have a discussion about that with someone else.
True.
You even know how long it's going to take you to get there. The comps for that area if you've done, some research. So I don't think there's any
Wasted time
that comes back. Yeah, I don't think there's any efforts that come back void.
Okay.
I don't believe that. And again, that's probably just my approach, because, I just.
That makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, well, I think it's just a shift. And several years ago, I just made a decision to look at everything in a positive, the glass half full, in a positive light.
Mindset.
And yeah,
Mindset
yeah.
is everything.
That's just changed everything, the way I view relationships, myself, business, everything. And of course, it's not 100%. Sometimes people will try you, and there are people that don't have that same mindset, and they'll challenge you. So it'll challenge how kind you are, how deep you have to dig to still keep that professional face. So it's all of this is just to make us better as people, regardless of what business you choose. So hopefully, people watching this video, they can get something from this conversation, in even if they're a waitress or if they're parking cars. I mean, it's just everything is relationships, because that will elevate you in life. Somebody's going to reach their hand down and pull you up because they like you. Period.
You hope. You hope. I can say that's definitely happened. I've gotten some very good successes, and I got a lender about a year ago who saw something in me that I didn't see, and a former police officer as well, and definitely a blessing, man. Without him, I wouldn't be doing too many rehabs at all. So that was a personality thing that was a success, but he comes from the same space. so I think that that similarity in our background kind of help start that relationship off, and along with being obsessed with being successful in real estate. I was at a lot of networking events, saw the same guy, and I was able to get that lender, and that was definitely one of my biggest successes so far in real estate, acquiring a private money lender, which a lot of folks are definitely after, and I just got blessed by that. So yeah, but like you said, in any industry, you got to be obsessed. You got to be driven, motivated. You just got to be on it every day, especially in real estate. This is like a 8 to midnight, 8 a.m. to midnight job, including Sundays and Saturdays and Sundays, if you want to be successful. There's not many days off you get, because you never know when someone's going to call you and say, hey man, when can you show me this house? So those plans you had, you gotta move them around because you got to be available for that person. They're gonna call in their agent, So it's a busy job. But if you don't love this job, you're not gonna be successful because it consumes your everyday life.
I agree.
I love real estate, man. I love it. Every time somebody calls me real estate, I love it. So it doesn't bother me, man. From setting up your drip campaigns till midnight to, messing with your CRM and adding people and changing people's statuses and till midnight, and it's just an everyday, all day job.
I'm glad you said that because you reminded me that I have to do that today. Tighten up my CRM and my database. So
There you go. I play with it all the time.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. I had another video I made about how important the CRM is, and KV Core with EXP Realty gives us KV Core, and that is the number one thing that's keeping me. One of the number one things that keep me with EXP Realty, besides the other positive benefits, is that their CRM is like a Ferrari. They give you a Ferrari. You join, they give you a Ferrari. I mean, people are calling me from these. I mean, you have to take your time and put your drip campaigns together. But once you take that time, it's autopilot. People are calling me and following up with me because my CRM reached out to them, and I forgot about those guys weeks ago. Like, who was this guy? Who was Frank? KV Core didn't forget. You know what I mean? And they're your silent partner. So it's with EXP Realty, man. I don't think there's any other broker out there that gives you that kind of tool that, given your hard work to implement it, kind of almost takes over your business for the most part. When you get deep into this, I got 400 or 500 people in there. How can I keep up with that many people on my own? There's no way. You'd lose money. You'd forget about folks. So it's it's definitely an amazing tool to have. So I'm glad you came. I'm glad you decided to come over, Mr. Remax, ex-Remax guy.
Oh yeah, and see the plaques on the wall too.
Yeah, man. I try to tell some of these agents that are with other brokers to come on over, but coming over to EXP is a financial decision. It's not an emotional decision. You don't give too many plaques. You just get checks. So you know what I mean? I'm not in love with plaques. That's some nice plaques back there. I like that, but you can't spend those.
and they made me pay for it.
Oh, that's rough. Yeah. So yeah, EXP is definitely a financial decision. There's no, we don't have celebrations. You're not revered, and you're walking through the aisle with everybody cheering for you. They just hand you checks. So I like the checks. I take the checks over the plaques any day.
Indeed.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, thanks for your time. I wanted to, be a little more in depth on our, successes and failures, but I think we had a great conversation. I don't want to take up your day. I see you getting text messages, and all your clients are.
Now I got to get into my CRM too. Thanks.
Yeah, man.
So you've given me homework today on a Saturday.
You're welcome. I got to go show some houses today myself.
Oh, good.
So who knows? They're not pre-qualified.
Those relationships. There you go.
Hey man, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, cuz. We'll do this again soon, I hope.
Anytime.
Take care.
You got it.